Good evening, everybody. Hi, Mom. Give everybody a few minutes. Clearly, you guys can tell I'm not in my normal place or with my normal setup. Tell me hi. Hi, Charlene. When you get on, tell me what you're working on, knit or crochet or baking, cooking, gardening. Tell me what you're spending your time doing today. Hi, Jackie. We are up at the Clare County Fair, visiting friends, and Victoria is at the Midway with a friend, riding carnival rides. I just got an elephant ear, and that's all I wanted to do. Hi, Julie. Working on dinner. Good. Joan, still working on the fireworks. Did you end up doing the 2 sleeves at once? I want to see how you thought that was going. If you've never done 2 sleeves at one time, it's kind of like doing socks 2 at a time. That way, when you're doing a decrease on one, you're doing the decrease or increase on the other, but it does get a little cumbersome because you have a whole sweater to work with. Tammy, cleaning. Oh, that doesn't... I feel like you were cleaning last time, too. Charlene, knitting on After the Rain. Excellent. Yeah, I love elephant ears. My plan was to wait so Victoria could eat most of it and I could just have a bite or two, but I didn't want to wait until she was done on rides, so I have one for me. Hi, Sherry. Mom, working on your workday scarf. Divine drape cowl, Jackie, excellent. Yes, slow but worth the effort. Never done them Karen's way. Karen's got a different way of doing everything. Fireworks sweater bad. Yeah, give it a couple days. E still knitting on the baby sweater. It's close to done though. It's gotta be. It's getting there. So for those of you that just popped on, clearly I'm not at the shop. I am at a friend's campsite at the Clare County Fair. We're camping. There is absolutely no service at the campground. So we came to the fair. Victoria's at the Midway. I got my elephant ear and I'm ready. Melissa started chart 3 of the sorrel. Yay. Monday's your day off. Well, you got to do what you got to do, Tammy. Hi, Mary. All right, it's 7, so we'll go ahead and get started. Welcome to Monday Motivation. My name is Kristen. I am the owner of the Little Yarn Shoppe in downtown Saginaw, Michigan. Normal hours are Wednesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Coming up starting this Friday for the I-75 yarn crawl will be open every day for a week. Sunday 11 to 4, 10 to 6, all the other days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Only for a week and then back to normal. Melissa, goal is to have chart 3 done. Excellent. Hi, Cora. Cora, don't worry, I'm eating enough to make up for the fact that you don't have one right now. Bev, got your purple fingering weight today and begin. Excellent. Hi, Christina. Okay, so I just have 1 or 2 things to show you guys what I'm working on, but they also happen to both be with custom yarn for the shop. So I know I've talked to you all about it the last couple weeks. I have 2 to show you. I have not gotten the 3rd. That may not be here in time for the yarn crawl, but I'm sure it'll be here still in the month of August, and our anniversary's August, so I'm not too concerned about it. And the 2 that I have are really, really, really cool. So we'll talk about that in a second, because really, other than that, I don't have a ton, but you guys really want to see these. As I mentioned, the I-75 yarn crawl starts this coming Friday, July 30th, and goes through the following Saturday, August 7th. I actually wrote it down this time, so I don't have to keep asking Melissa. So Friday the 30th, Saturday the 31st, 10 to 6 like usual. Sunday, August 1st, open 11 to 4. So for the yarn crawl, any of the extra days I am open, you don't have to be part of the yarn crawl to come into the shop. So if you happen to have a Monday off, I'm this coming, well, a week from Monday, August 2nd, I will be open 10 to 6, Tuesday 10 to 6. So if you have a day off or you have a little bit of time and want to swing by, feel free to do so. Come see me. I know sometimes the days we're open don't work for everybody, but Mondays, the outdoor farmers market is still going on 10 to 3, so you can kind of double up on that one. So I have 2 yarns. The first one is my sparkle sock from Ridiculous. So she has, her base is called Stardust Sparkle. Both of these are fingering weight yarn. I had fingering weight yarn dyed for me just because I figure that's the most versatile. If somebody wants just a souvenir skein, it's a great way to just get one and still know you can do socks, fingerless mitts, hats, shawls, all kinds of stuff with it. So I will show you in the ball. I did not think to bring an extra, like a whole skein with me. I have one wound because I'm working on it. But I will have to post the picture later of the inspiration picture. I wish that there was a way to show you guys that. Shoot, maybe if I had sent it to Melissa ahead of time, she could have done that. But I sent them a picture of the standing at the shop looking at the Saginaw River over toward, for those of you local, you know the Beans Bunny Tower to the west, and got this gorgeous sunset. And so I sent both dyers this same picture, and it's so cool the way they did it so differently. So Breeze, she really honed in on the bright part of the sunset. There were just these bright pinks and bright yellows. Look at this. You see all the pretty color in there? It's this neon green yellow, but there are these pretty peaches in here. There's like this purple. I know the light's not great. I was hoping natural light would be really good, but oh, I don't know if that worked or not, Melissa. It's just showing a file. Maybe for other people it will. So super bright. I am working on a pair of fingerless mitts with it. If I was at the shop and had all the time in the world, I would have pulled a couple skeins to do either an All Points South or a Magical Thinking. I think this would be awesome in like a 3-color shawl or over the head shawl poncho. But so I'll get close if I can. There are these really dark purples, oranges, peaches. There are these speckles in there too. It's just got so much. It's just bright and happy. So that's the first one. It's called Saginaw. I had her dye up 30 skeins of this. It's on the sparkle sock. I know you guys can't really see the sparkle in here. It's tough to tell on this one. It's so, I like her sparkle because it's not like in your face, but sometimes you can't even see it very well on camera. So I got 30 skeins. Now I'm down to 29 because of my sample, but they are $29.99 a piece. I have a limited run. I did a limited run of them, and I think that's a peacock in the background. You never know what you're going to hear at the fair. If you're interested in one, I can set one aside for you, even though the yarn crawl hasn't started yet, because I appreciate all of you as well. So Melissa, okay, posted the picture on today's event page. Okay, so you can probably check that out later. I appreciate all of you. So I want to make sure that you know that. I've talked about that before. I like that you guys join me every week. So my fingerless mitt, I am knitting. It's called Straightforward Mitts. And I spent some time looking at patterns that would lend themselves well to a busier yarn with lots of colors. The designer said it was inspired by Stephen West's shawl called Herbivore. It's a 1 skein free shawl. It's got just this pretty little design in there, increases and decreases, just a little twisted rib. It ends up almost looking like brioche, but it's not. It's just a little twisted rib. I'm knitting these on magic loop, this on magic loop. I don't advise using a cable this small for magic loop. It is, it's a little bit difficult to manage, but it was the only thing I had with me. So the straightforward mitts, she says you make 2 of them the same. You start at the cuff and work your way up. Clearly I'm not very far yet, but I started the thumb, the gusset increases there, and so that'll wrap around. They're not directional, so you make 2 of the exact same fingerless mitt, and then you can, you know, not worry about which hand they're on. So the other thing I did before I started this was swatch. I found a pattern called Twisted Skein Swatch. It was written by the same gentleman that did the Heart Piercer shawl. I'm pretty sure he owns a yarn shop somewhere else, or is part of a yarn shop somewhere else. So they wrote this pattern for a swatch that has multiple stitches in it, and it's really cool because then you can see, this is a good demonstration of how picking the pattern to match the yarn makes a big difference. So it's got stockinette, seed stitch, cables, so you can't really see the cables in there, and the lace. Can you see the lace? There it is. Just a pretty simple lace. But keep that in mind when you're picking patterns. If you pick something that has beautiful stitching in it, whether it's lace, cables, whatever, keep in mind that if you have a really busy yarn, all of that hard work that you put into the design is not going to show up. It frustrates some customers sometimes, and I feel sad when somebody comes in and that happens. But my general rule of thumb is the busier the yarn, the simpler the pattern should be. So if you have a more muted yarn, yeah, go for it. Do all the patterns. So I think for a lot of the swatches I have in the shop, I'm going to use this pattern because it does show so much. It's got quite a variety in there. Somebody's pulling in behind me. Sorry about that, you guys. It's also a great way to learn about a yarn. So if you have a skein and you don't know what to do with it, you don't know what kind of fabric it's going to make, how it would look. I mean, it uses 6 grams of yarn. It's not that much, and you learn a lot about it. So that's the first one. That's the Ridiculous Sparkle Sock. The other one is from Dream in Color, and it is on their base smooshy with cashmere. I'm gonna have to move you guys in a second because the people whose trailer I borrowed, they're back. So hang on a second as I move. Uh-oh, hang on. Whoop. Okay. Sorry about that. See, isn't it exciting? You never know what's gonna happen when you guys get me. Maybe I'll sit by my husband's truck. Ha ha ha. Here we go. How's that for a different angle? I'm sorry I have to hold you now because I don't have anything to prop you up on. So the other yarn is Smooshy with Cashmere, $34.99. Again, I got 30 skeins of this. I wound one up to swatch and knit a sample with it. So I have 29 of them left. You don't have to wait until Friday to get them, until the yarn crawl starts. If you want some, go ahead and comment now or message the shop. So again, I didn't bring full swatches. Oh, thank you. My husband is my helper today, and he brought over something that hopefully I can set you guys up on. We'll see here. I don't know if it'll work because you got it plugged in. We'll try. If you fall over, I'm sorry. We'll try this. So, I don't have a full skein, but I do have it wound into a ball. And here is their version of that same, they call it Saginaw Sunset is what they named this one. The other one was named Saginaw. This is Saginaw Sunset. It's completely different. I left the other skein over there, otherwise I'd hold them. Obviously you guys can tell they're different between the two of them. This has, it's like a muted blue-gray, these little flecks of pink, orange, purple. It's beautiful. If they're willing to work with me and do something similar in the future as just like my always store custom color, I might get something like this, because it's like a neutral without really being a neutral. What a great guy. Hi, Jackie. He is a great guy. So I decided to, with this one, I did the swatch also. So here you can see, you know, it's got some color, but you can definitely still see the cables in there. You can still see the lace in there. I don't know, this one lends itself really well to pretty much any stitch pattern. Tammy needs one of these. Yes, everybody needs one of these, but I only have 29. So, again, it's the Smushy with Cashmere base. $34.99, fingering weight yarn. So I decided to cast on, I mentioned it before, but I couldn't show you, the Knit Night shawl. So Elaine Mack had mentioned it to me before, and it's a great one skein project. It starts with just a couple stitches with a little picot edging, and then each row is exactly the same. So you make a little picot, knit to the end, make a little picot, knit to the end. So it's great in, it's great for a knit night. It's great for social knitting when you don't really want to pay attention. Of course, because we have the bead store, I wanted to put beads in there. And I don't know if you can see them. Oh, you might be able to. See these little purple beads? So every little picot, it's written to have with the option to put beads in. So it's not a modification that I had to come up with on my own. It's written both ways. It will grow. Clearly, each row grows by 4 stitches. So it's getting a bit wide on my tiny cable here. But there you can see what it looks like. Knit up in garter. So this is just, again, it's knit every row, so it's just garter, back and forth, back and forth. Really simple, but if you love the yarn, if it's a beautiful color, or you want easy knitting, this is a great one for it. For any skein of yarn, if you get souvenir yarn from somewhere and you want kind of a special project, this would be a great one for it. I had to stop for a little bit because she suggests stopping with about 17 grams left to do the beaded bind off. Well, she has like a beaded lace edging and then a beaded bind off. Melissa, pre-strung or as you go. They are put on as you go. So well, because I'm misplaced, I don't have it, but I'm using the flossers. So very resourceful, not a technical knitting or crochet tool, but their Glide makes like dental floss, those little pick flossers, things like that. They make these long strand flossers. It's like a piece of dental floss, but then it has a more rigid end that you can poke through things. So every time I start a row, I put the bead on there. So you're not having to pre-string them, slide them along, anything like that. You just need to make sure you have them close by because you need one every row. Put the bead on, make my picot, continue on. You don't have to do beads, you could do it without beads. So I'm getting there. I know I have more than 17 grams left, but I don't have a scale with me at the campground. So I may have to stop on that one a little bit, but since I cast on that fingerless knit, I will work on that so I can have samples for everybody. So I know my nails are fab. Aren't they cool? Well, this hand looks a little better. Color Street, you guys. I love this stuff. It's the only thing that actually stays on my nails. If you're local, Sarah over in the bead shop has a friend that sells it, and she carries some in her store that you can just swing by and pick up. If you don't know, it's a direct sales company. They're strips of nail polish, and you don't have to wait for your nails to dry to get back to your knitting. That's the primary thing. That's what I like about it. They have a gazillion different designs. This one I think I got for New Year's, but I found them in the bottom of my bag, and again, I'm at the campground, so use what you have. Uh-oh, Bev. Did anyone else lose signal? Oh, you guys let me know if you had a problem or if I cut out. I guess if I cut out, you won't be able to tell me that. I hope that's not the case. Well, okay, it came back right away. Okay, good. I hope you guys didn't miss anything. Well, you can always go back and rewatch it after. Hopefully you didn't miss too much though. You kind of just missed the my usual rambling. Paused twice, but it came right back. Okay, yeah. Again, I'm up at a campground. At least I have some service here, so I guess I'm okay. So I think really I didn't have a whole lot to talk about this week other than that I talked a little bit about magic loop. I wanted to talk about beading a little bit, but I don't have a good way to kind of show you guys that. I may try and do that next week if I can. It will be in the middle of the yarn crawl. The shop will be open 10 to 6 that day, but should be fine. Hi, Trisha. Yes, go back. Melissa thought it was on your end. Yes. You never know. You never know sometimes. It is what it is. Technology is great, but it doesn't always work the way we want it to. Did anybody, I wanted to ask too if anybody had any bad damage during that storm the other day. We got torrential rain. My rain gauge at the campground actually said we got about 1.25 inches of rain in about 15 minutes. It was insane. My parents were camping here with us, and they had a lake in their front yard at their campsite. Not a whole lot of fun, but it did dry up pretty quickly. I got a notification though that there was a tornado warning or watch in Saginaw County. So hopefully nobody had any damage from wind, rain. I don't think any tornadoes touched down that I heard of other than out in the thumb. So hopefully everybody stayed safe and dry. I heard there were quite a few people that just hunkered down in the shop. There are worse places to be during a storm than a yarn store, right? Lots of soft stuff around you, and the way the shop is right in the middle of that huge brick building, you're pretty darn safe in there anyway. Okay, I think that's really all I've got to talk about. We mentioned the, well, I mention every week, but I'll mention again the retreat is coming up September 20. I meant to write this down and I didn't. 23rd through the 26th. Nope. Maybe. I don't know. I do think I have an event created. Maybe not. Maybe I haven't done that yet. I know for sure on our website under events, I've got it listed there so you can sign up. $50 deposit now. The remainder is due at the beginning of September. Are there any perks with the yarn crawl? I will have these 2 yarns. If you are participating in the yarn crawl, each shop is kind of doing their own thing. I'm not running a store-wide sale, but my goal, I'm not quite there yet, but my goal is to have kind of a post-COVID clearance sale going on. I'm working on getting my back room set up so I can do that. So next Monday may have a little preview of that. I don't quite know how that's going to work, but I'm going to try. When I get back into town tomorrow, that's my goal, is to hunker down and get that back room under control. If you've been in the shop, you know it's a little sketchy. I just keep tucking stuff away back there. Oh, Christina, you got a monsoon. No damage, good. Tammy, warning, but it passed. Good. All right. I think that's all I've got. It seems like there's a little bit of a delay in the comments, more than usual. I couldn't be on Zoom to kind of manage things a little better because I'm at the campground. I'm on my phone. But I wanted to make sure I talked to you guys because I did promise yarn. And for those of you who watch this on the replay, you can still comment. You guys, I have ants crawling up my legs. You can still comment if you want one or both of the skeins of the Saginaw yarn, our custom yarn, and we'll be happy to pull those for you once they're gone. Well, once this batch is gone, it's gone. I may end up being able to order more. I'm not sure. If I get enough interest in it, I will probably take pre-orders for another batch. So we'll just kind of play it by ear. But again, comment on here. If you're watching this on a replay, message that you're watching on a replay, comment, let me know where you're watching from. And I'm in Clare. I'm not at home, as you can tell, but it's always good to chat with you all. Okay, not been in a long time. Miss knitting. Class anytime soon on socks. I'm not sure about classes on socks, Kay. Joyce is getting back into classes. She had to take a couple weeks off, and then we don't have anything scheduled right now, but I'm hoping to slowly get back into that soon. We are, so keep an eye out for it. I usually try to mention it on my lives and post things on Facebook. That's the easiest way for me to tell you guys what's going on. So I hope you all have a good week. Be creative and get some things done. Finish some things, start some things. Just play with yarn. Play with all the yarn. Stop in and see me. Yeah, if you have any questions, message the shop, call the shop, 989-274-8571. Email littleyarnshoppe@gmail.com. You know, Facebook message, Instagram message. I will do my best to get back with you as soon as I can. All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for joining me, and have a great week. Bye.